Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Deandra and today I'm going to be talking about 5 tips on how to survive your fundamentals of nursing class. You're probably clicking on this video because you're about to start nursing school or you're in the class and you're like, what did I get myself into? But before I start, I just want to say, I don't want to sugarcoat anything. It's not going to be pleasing to the ears, and some of these things you've probably heard before, but you don't know the depth of it. So I'm going to elaborate things, and let's start. All right, tip number 1, and I would say this is probably the most important one and something that I dreaded like crazy, was practice questions. You need to do 50 to 75 questions a day. I know it's so tedious, but when you train your mind to do it over and over again, you become more comfortable and you don't feel as stressed taking a test, because the ultimate goal is for you to pass your class and pass your NCLEX and be done. You could use your Saunders book, you could use your ATI book, your HESI book, your Fundamentals of Nursing book. If you're getting a question wrong, it means that you're not understanding the content yet, so you need to go back to your notes. So that's why it's so important to do these practice questions, because if you're getting all of them right, then you understand it. But if you're not, then you need to go back to your notes. And it's not about the quantity, but the quality of each questions and going back to the rationale and reading through everything. Now we're gonna go to my next tip, which is you need to read the chapters. You need to read the book. I cannot emphasize this enough. People think that they could just skim through the book and they think they know everything. No, there's so much information in that book, and there's so many select all the apply questions that come out of that book. So if you don't spend the time to read it, you're just that's a question lost, and you don't want to miss those important questions. So you need to read everything. Sometimes you may need to talk out loud. I would sometimes read my book out loud, because when you say things, your brain, I guess, retains it, and that's why I started my YouTube channels, because the more I talked about it, the more it helped me remember information, which is crazy. So you have to do what works for you, and ultimately you have to read the chapters at least once, and you need to find the time to read it. So it's a sacrifice, but it's worth it. Once you pass the class, you feel relieved. Tip number 3 is you need to write your own notes. Make it unique. Do not start copying other people's notes. You could refer to their notes, but ultimately you want to make it your own notes, something that you're going to remember. Use different color pens, use highlighters, use stickers. I loved using stickers. You could use Pinterest to make it fun. I would sometimes print it and glue it to my notes. You could use your iPad for your notes, but for me personally, I would look at the iPad notes from people and I'm like, wow, it looks really nice. But I loved my handwriting notes so much more. I felt like I retained the information a lot more because I wrote it down. I didn't just type it. I had to legit write it down. And what I noticed is that before a test, people are like, can I take a picture of your notes? I'm like, you're not gonna remember this, but okay, take a picture. It's just how it is. Just write your own notes, and I'll probably go in depth on how I did my notes, but next time. Tip number 4, and this was actually something that helped me so much in nursing school. I cannot thank them enough, are the friends that you meet in nursing school. We had such a small, tight group of friends, and we would meet up 3 to 4 hours before our class started, and we would do practice questions with each other. We would test each other. We would do Kahoot, and we were very serious because we all want to pass, and whether someone gets a C or an A, we were all helping each other. And don't be one of those people that are I'm just gonna study by myself, I'm gonna just do my own thing, because that's how you're going to be in the hospital. If you don't know how to work as a team, then most likely you're not going to do that at a job. It has to be a team effort. If you know something, share it. If you don't know something, ask. That's how it is. And we all got through it. We all passed our NCLEX the first try. So And those are gonna be your friends for like the next year, 2 or 3, depending on what program you have. So it's really important for you to find like your own clique and stick to them and grow with each other and learn. My last tip, tip number 5, procrastination. Oh my God, you do not want to procrastinate in nursing school. I used to read like 5 to 10 chapters before the class even started, only so I could like mentally prepare myself what I'm getting myself into. For example, like if you're going to patho or pharm, med surg, those classes are very hard. Like, so I used to start like my notes already. I was already trying to like read up what we're gonna be learning about. In order for you to like master something and actually understand it, you have to reread it a few times. If you're like me, I was never a school person. I didn't care about getting A's and B's, but in nursing school, I realized like you have to know what you're doing because you're gonna take care of a patient. So you have to know how to explain to a parent what's happening, or to a family member, or to the daughter. You don't want to sound like you don't know what you're doing and then you're taking care of them with all these crazy drips that are keeping your family member alive. So it's really important that you take this like serious and actually read it and understand it. All right, guys, those were my 5 survival tips. It works for me and I hope it works for you. Let me know if you have any questions or video you want me to say or talk about. Subscribe below and give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and bye!